Good afternoon. Today I'm going to be reacting to Vera Dark's video. The title of the video is Woki's Meltdown over Concordian Timeline are hilarious. Demand we be nice to hardworking devs. Alright, just by that title, I'm going to let everybody know this. Just because you're a dev and you worked hard on something, like you worked hard on a product and you pushed it out, doesn't mean we have to be nice to you, and it doesn't mean we have to like your product. This is gonna get I don't know if that let me like, get rid of that. Hickory, stop that. Now lay down. Alright, here we go.
There are a lot of people out there who believe if you are not with them, you are against them. And if you do not parrot the same talking points they do and don't push the narratives they agree with, you are an ist and you are a phobe.
I've actually talked to people that think like that, and let me tell you, it's really fucking annoying. Excuse me. I don't agree with everybody in the world, but even if I don't agree with you, I'm not about to go name calling you and I calling you a racist or anything like that, unless you actually say something that would put you in that line of like what you'd be called. But over just disagreeing over like a game's politics, even though there shouldn't be politics in games, does not make you a Nazi or a racist or homophobic or transphobic. You are welcome to have your own opinion, which is something that people seem to be forgetting. And since like your opinion doesn't align with theirs, they do a. This is actually there's been studies on this. A method of like trying to dehumanize you to make them feel like your opinion does not matter, or like that you're like a monster, so your opinion is invalid because it makes them feel better about themselves. And it sucks, but it is what it is. There we go.
And now, this image that has blown up on social media has caused quite a few meltdowns because it says the Concordian timeline. It talks about games that have failed or people believe are going to fail. And the
Concord was one of the worst games I have ever seen of like a failure. This right here, like, oh, I just now realized what they're doing. They are putting a timeline together of all the games that are gonna fail and have failed. Starting with Concord, Highguard. Highguard was not as bad as Concord, gameplay wise, but it's still not good either. So, yeah, it's probably gonna go down to Marathon. I have mild interest in Marathon. This, from just the trailer, it looked like DEI slop. So it's not something that is like targeted for somebody like me. So I'm like, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not interested in it.
Wokies are furious. I have a few different things.
Not gonna say it's a bad game. These two are bad games because they have not come out yet. I have not seen anything of them yet, much other than trailers and like there's snippets of gameplay. I think they had Yeah, they had like an open beta for this one, Marathon, didn't they? Or like a closed beta. Or did, like, I can't remember what it was. Like I remember I think some people got to play this Marathon, and there was some like gameplay that was shown. The gameplay didn't look bad. It didn't look amazing, but it didn't look bad. But if I had to play like an extraction shooter, there's plenty of other extraction shooters that are way better than this game.
To show off, but
Or
before I
graders.
get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or
Yeah,
YouTube
please do that.
memberships. Now, I think it is great
Burston's awesome.
when so many people melt down online because they aren't getting what they want and people are not agreeing with them. Collectivism is a plague in the video game industry
Oh, it definitely
amongst
can be.
journos, developers, and the little audience that they actually have.
I 100%. I stopped listening to journalists because they just a lot of the journalists I keep seeing like from IGN and shit like that when like they put like it's not diverse enough in the review. I'm sorry, your opinion no longer matters to me because you're not. That is like your job to review the game, not whether it's diverse enough. Reviewing the game, the gameplay. I want to know how the game plays. Is the gameplay good? Is it fun? Not if it's got a diverse cast.
These people are very small but very vocal and very loud. And this
Ugh.
very simple image has infuriated people. Now, these individuals could just scroll past it if they don't like it.
They
They
could.
could see this image and just say, nope, I'm not going to interact.
It's called rage baiting. And it's not very hard to rage bait somebody who is very insecure about their own opinions.
I'm not going to give this person attention and what they want, but they never do. They always fall for it, and it makes for some fun content. So, Noir said, Concord fans are eating good. It says Concord, released August 23rd, 2024. Highguard, released January 26th, 2026. Marathon
Where's my
releases
phone?
March 5th, 2026. And Horizon Hunters Gathering releasing in 2026. All games that have had a lot of skepticism surrounding them. 2 of these games have failed, and there are 2 that we do not know the fate of. I personally think that Marathon is going to make or break Bungie. I have
Probably.
not been very interested in what I've seen so far. I do think
And Bungie is honestly suffering. Like they can't make shit anything like they can't make a game worth of shit anymore. I miss the old Bungie. But that's gone.
that the latest trailers have been more in line with what the original Marathon
Favorite Halo was Halo Reach.
games were when they were actually System Shock competitors instead of like modern audience live service slop and just very generic designs that we've gotten in 2026. So I think that it looks a little bit better than it did months ago. But when it comes out, we'll have to see if it actually does very good. I don't know if it is going to instantly fall off and people are going to not quite mesh with it. Either way, it does have an entry fee. So if 100,000 people buy it day one,
Oh, that is not good. Say if you say Marathon's got an entry fee, it better not be full price. Nobody, and I repeat, nobody will show up. Arc Raiders has an entry fee, and it's a 1,000 times better than what this game looks like. Arc Raiders would probably blow this out of the water. If this has an entry fee, it better be like 30 to $40.
right? They're still making money off of it. We don't know how much money they need to make, though.
And that's
Either way,
pushing
Horizon
it.
Hunters Gathering is another game that has gotten destroyed on social media.
Just look
Does
like
not have a
ass.
release date at this time, but when you see a 600-pound land whale in a trailer,
That's funny.
I don't think anybody's
like that.
really going to be interested in designs like that. But there are individuals that are furious saying, you guys just want things to fail. You never give things a chance.
You know, I'm gonna say it. I don't want things to fail. I wish these games were actually AAA quality, but they're not. People say like, "Oh, ideas are dry." Like, ideas are not dry. These companies have investors and all that shit. Investors want to make money, so they want to play it safe, but then they want to also have diversity, equity, and inclusion, so they don't want to make the characters attractive. Okay. I'm gonna get out. That's off topic for a second. Let me go in order. First off, investors, they want their money returned. So, the company developing the game, is more likely to play it safe, do things they know players loved in the past, which makes for a stale game because there's no innovation, no attempt to innovate or change anything. It's more like keep it the same, just new maps, new skins, maybe a couple small different game mechanics. Excuse me. Second problem is the DEI stuff. When like they make characters unattractive on purpose, or they push like they them pronouns, or anything that just breaks the immersion or just makes it look less of a good game. That is not a big problem for me, as long as if I can make my own character and I can make my character somewhat attractive, I'm fine. But if I can't make my own character and like the main character is unattractive or just like downright ugly, in my opinion, it's takes away from me a little bit. Cause like I ain't much of a story guy, but like it would take away from me. But that's me. If that doesn't take away for you, then like good for you. And then another thing that they do, the worst thing that these companies do is they attack their customers. There's like been what's like that CEO. I can't remember if he was at Bungie or not. There was a CEO who's like wanted to people to say like, oh, like we need more black developers. Like I want to hire you to replace me, and all these like white crusty people or some shit like that. He said so like, very derogative. He's like white something, and I'm like, dude, that's fucked up and racist as shit. They'll attack the gamers as well, saying like, "Oh, you're not giving it an actual chance." Like, or "Oh, you don't know how hard it is." I'm like, I don't care how hard it is to make a game. That's not my job. When you make a game, you put it on the market and it's not free, you're asking for money for the game. So why would I care if it's hard to make a game? That's not my problem or my fault. You're asking for money from me for your game. You get what I'm saying? Like, I want to pay. If I'm going to pay for a game, I want it to be enjoyable. Something I can enjoy. And if I don't enjoy it, well, then I don't want to buy it. Or I will just refund it if I figure out, like, I'm not going to enjoy this in the first 2 hours.
You're the reason the gaming
So I'm going to resume this video now. But, like, cause, like, I'm just trying to make a point.
industry is failing, which is so funny because maybe if Highguard and Concord hired competent developers, things would
True
have
as
been
well.
different. But keep in mind, there were developers from Concord that went.
The Concord characters were honestly really bad, but I did like one. There's like that one like chick with the well, she kind of looked like a lizard, something like that. I think she looked pretty good actually. But then like you see like trash can and like some weird off blue guy with a red face, and it's like what the fuck. And then like the drag, I think it's like a drag queen or something like that. It's like the characters looked not good. And to top that off, they had it like pay to enter the game. I'd rather go play Overwatch, where it's free and most of their characters are attractive.
To Highguard. If any of those people work on any other games in the future, maybe they have the Midas Death Touch and those games are going to fail too. But wow, are people furious. Damn, y'all really turned Concord into a phrase to describe games that are seemingly DOA. Yeah. Why is that
Well, yeah, because Concord was literally one of the most dead on arrival games to ever release.
a problem? It's literally a single word. I don't think that this is something you need to be furious about. It's really sad, and now I want Marathon and Horizon to be good out of spite. This incessant hating is not good for the video game industry. If you want to know who this person
You know what else is not good for the gaming industry? trying to white knight and protect bad games.
Is they have 11K followers, followed by Elgato, Power GPU, but they also are working with Advanced GG, who of course recently canceled Rev Says Desu and his wife Straub. So yeah, I just think that this person is knee deep in the pile of modern shit and leftist ideology, clearly. Somebody else said, I will never understand people that get excited about the prospect of seeing something fail.
Again, I'm going to state I never get excited by anything I see failing. It more makes me frustrated and mad because the developers do not want to listen to the community and give the community what they want, what the community is asking for. Because like if you listen to the community, they are telling you what they will give you money for. And then you turn around and push out some dog shit nobody asked for, and then get surprised when nobody buys the game. Or nobody shows up to even play it, even when it's free to play. I'm like, is it really that hard to understand? Like, I feel like I'm stupid, but man, these motherfuckers, they're competing, man. We're competing into the Special Olympics with each other.
Weird, weird. I personally don't want things to fail.
I
I go
don't either.
into every single game cautiously optimistic. Even if it is a Relooted, even if it is a Concord, even if it is a Dustborn, I play them to give them a chance. I can talk about something 50 times on the channel and when it comes out have a completely different opinion if that is how I genuinely feel. Because I am just telling you guys my thoughts, my opinions, and information that I am seeing on social media. I am willing to change my mind if I can be proven wrong. And sometimes, yes, developers do end up being successful when I think they're going to fail, and they do make money, and that's great. Good for them.
It happens
Glad people
sometimes.
enjoy your product. I don't want things to fail, but at the same time, you can.
I want to remind people of something. Y'all remember when Hogwarts Legacy was releasing? And people like now are talking like, oh, this I should give it a chance, should never hate and all this shit. Hogwarts Legacy released, and the LGBTQ plus whatever that fuck community and all these other fucking kinds of people right here just absolutely shat on them and shat on anybody who played or streamed the game to the point where they made a streamer cry just because she played a game. Sorry if I don't feel any sympathy. I'm not really sorry.
Not expect your games to be successful when you are making slop, you're pushing away customers, you're insulting customers. I do not owe you my money, and you do not instantly deserve respect just because you created something. So, yeah,
True.
I think that it's hilarious
Based.
when games fail, especially when developers go on social.
I don't find it hilarious when games fail too much, but I find it's kind of funny when a developer, like, a game looks like it's going to fail, and the developer comes out here like White Knight saying like, oh, it's going to be successful, and then it comes out and it just tanks like everybody thought it would, because nobody fucking liked the way it looked, nobody liked the gameplay, nobody liked anything about how it worked. And then the developer comes out and attacks people because that's what they do. Rather than look at their work and like, where did I go wrong? They like, you're all the problem. I'm right. You're all just bigots because you didn't buy my product.
Media and say, ooh, the chuds aren't gonna buy
I
this,
hate the chuds
and you
word.
should ignore it, and the modern audience will show up, and then they never do. So that's when I get excited. I don't think it's very hard for people to get excited when bad
appeal to people who actually have money to buy your shit, probably.
Games fail. They deserve to fail if they're not good. Rooting for the failure of a game before they've come out is pathetic loser behavior.
This isn't rooting for it. This is just saying the timeline that's more likely going to happen. Not rooting for it, buddy.
Why are you so bothered by the fact that people are judging teasers and trailers and information they're getting? The reason why these companies release teasers and trailers and
Just
they
to try
put
to gain
out
hype.
interviews and sneak peeks is so people can judge it and so people can decide if they want to buy it or not. Sure, they want it to go positively for them. They want you to react positively to it, but we don't have to. They put these things out to judge them. Shut the hell up. You are so triggered for nothing. Now, when you scroll through the comments, there are a lot of people saying, I don't know why y'all want Marathon to fail so bad, and you have to take Marathon off this list because it looks pretty good. I think these people
I've seen Marathon. At best, it looks mid. Not to mention, they had that whole controversy where they literally stole art from an artist on Twitter and put it in the game. That's been resolved to best of my knowledge, but that was a huge deal.
don't know what Marathon used to be. Now, Marathon came out long before I was born, but I did play it when I was probably like 14, I would say. That's when I had gotten into Marathon, and it's been a lot of time since I've actually played it again. You can play it online, which is really cool.
Hmm.
Unless you want to spend like $500 on the trilogy on eBay. But Marathon used to be very different. It used to be darker, grittier, like sci-fi. It was a System Shock competitor, and now it's just very different. And you might like the new Marathon. It might come out, might do really good. It might actually
I don't
be
think it's going to do good.
successful, but at the same time,
Okay, I'm going to point this out. There's been many other extraction shooters to release. Many that are way better than what this looks like. For cheaper and even more expensive than what Marathon's probably going to list for. My favorite, honestly, is Escape from Tarkov, but Arc Raiders is like a close second. Escape from Tarkov is hardcore and fun. Marathon looks like it's going to be kind of like somewhere around Arc Raiders, like a level of like difficulty. So like not really that hard, not too punishing, just to keep players around. But like again, I'm going to say it again. That point of entry, they're probably going to want $70. If they don't, if they charge anywhere to like, I'd say a 30 and below would be a good price for this game because you want players in.
what we have seen so far has worried people, has not captured people's attention in the way that Bungie and Sony want. And it is very worrying because it does look like it could very easily fail. We will have to see if gamers actually show up to monetarily support it, if people actually say, you know what, this looks really cool and I'm going to give it a shot. But when you have an entry fee for a multiplayer game like this, it can be a sort of flip of the coin. It can go very good, but it can also go very bad very easily. And there hasn't been a lot of marketing for Marathon. There was a lot of controversy surrounding this game too, and I think a lot of these people are intentionally not mentioning it to make Marathon
I think Marathon's being written off as a failure already in Bungie, but they're probably going to still release it because they're already so close to the release.
look even better. Either way, though, it is hilarious to see so many people being so mad over a very simple image. And yes, it's fine to use Concord as a term in order to label a game that has failed or you believe is going to fail, because Concord is one of the biggest, if not the largest.
If I knew Concord was going to fail this bad, I would have went and bought a bunch of the physical discs. You may ask why? Well, because the physical discs are worth money, a lot of money. They sell on eBay for a good portion because Concord is it's like literally the worst selling game I think ever. There's like AAA. Dead on arrival.
Largest failure in the history of the video game industry. So I'll be keeping a close eye on Marathon, Horizon Hunters Gathering, and even 1348X Photo that comes out in a couple of weeks that has about 102 all-time peak for the demo, even though it got millions and millions of
Oof.
hits on social media and lots of interaction because of the video game journos and the modern audience members. But yeah, this timeline is upsetting people. And hey, feel free to add to this timeline and trigger more snowflakes. But that's all that I really had to discuss.
As always, the link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. This is quite interesting, honestly. I'm going to. I don't know if I'm going to play Marathon. It depends on how much they release it for. If they release it for a decent price, I might buy it, give it a chance, play it and give it a review, and honest review and upload it onto the channel. But if it releases like at $70, I'm like you can forget it. Like I'd rather play Tarkov and review Tarkov. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.